الله أكبر الله أكبر.
رب اغفر وارحم وتجاوز عما تعلم إنك أنت العزيز الأكرم. These classes are all of them connected. There is a connection between studying fiqh, teaching fiqh as what? Fiqh as definition of the rules, the ahkam, the rulings, at the end, everything come back in the end to this halal, haram, permissible, is not permissible, what to do, how to pray. This is the end product of the fiqh. And this is what's all this preparation for this. Why you study Maqasid al-Sharia, Usul al-Fiqh, Qawaid Fiqhiyyah, to guide the faqih so we end up with the correct answer, we end up with an answer that will goes with the purpose of the Deen in general. And this is why every time that we don't teach this enough, we don't spend more time learning about the Maqasid, about the Usul, about the end product will be weaker and sometimes contradict the purpose of the religion. This is what damaged many other nations before us, when the main purpose, the Maqasid, this is the word Maqasid, the purpose number one, the goal, the intention of the Sharia. Sharia here is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what He attained when He make this ruling or the other ruling. If we don't understand the intention, especially by the time, the language, the environment is changed. So become this ahkam, just yes or no, halal or haram. And we deal with the Deen as at that level. This is the lowest level, and can be very misleading and very damaging. So this is why everything have to go with the maqsad and the purpose, and this is why all of this sciences, Maqasid al-Sharia, Usul al-Fiqh, Qawaid Fiqhiyyah, they've been founded to protect the faqih from going wrong, from the purpose of the Sharia. And this is very easy to happen. Very easy to happen, as it happened with Bani Israel. Quran talk a lot about these people doing tricks and shortcuts. And the best example is the Ashab al-Sabt. Ashab al-Sabt, the people of the Saturday. The Sabt, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them to don't fish in the Saturdays. Okay, so we have another things to do. So what's the maqsad? What's the purpose of this ruling? And this is the question come. We don't want to become مثل أصحاب السبت. We don't want to become the people who go to the extreme. شددوا فشدد الله عليهم. They make their religion hard, and Allah made it harder for them. So this is another misguidance. The other people, they made everything permissible. So you have extremes and you have things. Learning this for protection and keep us in the proper, correct context of the Deen that Allah wanted to use.
According to Jewish law, even the strictest Jewish law bears out what the Quran says, because it's not just fishing, it's work. And the Sabbath is just basic to Judaism. And when you start to alter that, then you're really altering Judaism. So the Quran is absolutely right on topic.
Yeah. And this is a very wide example being given, because there is possibility that we'll play games with it's ruling now. So what's the shortcut? Can I have some, and we call it in fiqh, scholars they call it al-hiyal al-fiqhiyah. Al-hila is the trick, fiqhi trick. It's look like find us a way how to go through this ruling. And this is why all of this is to protect. If the ruling, you don't see it there, you see it in the maqsad. And this is why the maqsad. So today, inshallah, quickly, we're going to learn. We learned this before. We teach the whole class 10 weeks about Maqasid Sharia. We're going to summarize it, so at least we'll be able to remember it, inshallah. Let's start with our Maqasid Sharia, inshallah. Starting from the beginning. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Everybody read the
primary objective of the Sharia is to realization of the benefit to the people concerning to the affairs both in this world and the hereafter.
يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر. Why Allah sent the religion? The religion is for our benefit. It's خير لنا. As the Rasul described it in an amazing way. He said the example of the Sharia and me as the Rasul talk about himself. He said, I came to save you from the hellfire, from the difficulty of the dunya and the akhirah. ضيق الدنيا وضيق الآخرة وعذاب الآخرة. So the Sharia has a great goal. It's for the benefit, and anybody who follow the teaching of the Sharia. So Rasul described it as a butterfly flies and coming to the fire, and he say, I'm trying to protect the person, protect the butterfly from going to the fire. Fire is something bad for them, and I'm the protector. Sometimes people, why he's bothering us? Why this ruling? Why all of this? Because there is a better goal. Protect from an evil behind. Sometimes you don't see it. Sometimes it's not clear. So this is the beginning of this. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Deen Allah kulluhu khayr. All of it, it's good. There is no shar in the Deen of Allah. Yes?
It is generally held that the Sharia in all parts aims at securing benefit for the people or protecting them against corruption and evil.
And evil. Very good. Huh?
The Quran explains the main objective of the Sharia when it declares, we send, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not but as a mercy for alamin, mankind, jinn, and all that exists.
So وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We send you but a mercy. And this is why Allah sent the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى. So it's not suffering for you, it's not suffering for the people, it's for rahmah and for khayr. If we understand it, if we receive it the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to be. So this is okay. Go ahead. Category? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The essentials, the categories of objective of Sharia. Number
Okay,
one.
the objective of the Sharia, there is three characteristics or categories, and we're going to go through this. Without understanding this picture, we can confuse a lot of things in the Sharia. What's the three categories of the Sharia? The essentials, ضروريات, the essential. We call them ضروريات. This is how the fuqaha of the usul and the fuqaha of Maqasid Sharia they classify it. Yes.
The complementary.
حاجيات. The need and complementary. And the last one?
Embellishments.
Yeah. The last one?
Embellishments.
Embellishment. تحسينيات. So here, ضروريات is the necessary things, the foundation of the Deen, the things that you cannot delay them, you cannot ignore them, they are the ضروري, the essential, the foundation that the Deen is built on it. It's not, and we have the hajiyat or the complementary things that they help achieving the ضروريات. They are important, but not as important as the ضروريات. And the last one is تحسينيات, to make things good, look hasan. So it's you complete things. It's not the ضروري. It's not there is حاجة or need to it, but it's تحسين. And tahsin, the Arabic word, means to make things look hasan, look better, look good.
Categories of objective
Of Sharia. Okay, so these are the three categories. So every ruling, every hukum, every ayah, every hadith, we have to put it in one of the three categories. Yes.
Can fard or haram ruling be another tahsiniyat?
The haram is haram. If there is haram, is the daruri. Mostly we're going to see the haram and the fard or the way fara'id, it's come essential. This is why it's haram or it's fard. And we have things that the fard be completed with it, but it's not itself. And we have things to just, it's like the sunan and the makruhat, and it's to tahsiniyat. So the problem where disaster will happen if we switch the priorities or the categories. So if we put something that is tahsiniyat in daruriyat, what will happen? We emphasize a lot of effort, and we put in something that it's not daruriyah, essential. So this is why we have to understand, and the ulama, they tell us what's from tahsiniyat, what's not. If you read the Quran, you see things that, essential things that Quran talk about. Tawheed, for example, is the foundation. You cannot compromise the Tawheed in that. There is many daruriyat, and there is tahsiniyat. You don't find, you take small things in the Deen, and sometimes you make it the biggest as it's the daruriyat. And you take people out of the Deen and in the Deen based on this. And this is why ulama al-Maqasid, they divide all the Sharia to these three categories. We're going to get some examples, inshallah. Go ahead.
So,
Yes.
So the zaruriyat are the required things, the hukum that are required. I mean, what are, like, I'm guessing they are
Essential. It means if you look for what's important, you put all the Sharia, ahkam and practice and sunan and all of this, and you put them in three categories, divide them in three categories. One of them is the essential, one of them they're important but they're not the essential, and one of them is not very important, in meaning they're tahsiniyat, they completed and this is based in this classification. You're going to see the ahkam and what's important from the Sharia. So there is a big debate about this, but all this, many scholars they agree about this classification, that not everything is essential. If everything is essential, it's daruriyah. Without it, for example, we have something we call it ما لا يسع المسلم جهله. What a Muslim cannot be ignored about it. Your deen, or al-ma'lum min ad-deen bil-darura. They think that daruri, every Muslim have to know it. If we ignore this daruriyat, we ignore important parts of the deen. So, three categories based in the importance. And who determine this? The scholars. Based in studying Islam, learning about Quran, about the life of the Prophet ﷺ and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Compare things. We come with these three categories based in importance. And this is what's going to lead to the Maqasid al-Sharia. Maqasid al-Sharia is the top of the daruriyat. Is the top of the top. This is the ceiling, the highest things in the deen. This is the goals, achieving these goals. Yes.
The purpose of this is that when some people get in arguments to say, okay, is this really important or is something small? And when people make small thing into big thing, they're like, okay, it's not. Don't make it a big deal.
Exactly. This is a. But we have to understand that the Sharia or the Deen of Islam is not one block. That everything has the same level of importance. This is the idea. If we start from these three categories in the Sharia, we understand that not everything goes the same level. And this is the idea behind this. Is that we understand, some people, they don't know. There is daruriyat and hajiyat and tahsiniyat. Okay? Bismillah. Go ahead.
The essentials are the matter on which the religion and worldly affairs of the people depend on. Their neglect will lead to a total disruption and disorder, and it will lead to evil ending. The essentials can be divided into protection of 5 fundamental values. These 5 values are.
Now these are the Maqasid al-Sharia. So where Maqasid al-Sharia they come, these 5 values, they come on the daruriyat, the essential, the one that you cannot ignore them, you cannot put them, delay the later, no. These have to be. Let's see this 5 from the middle. Go ahead.
Protection of al-Deen, protection of life,
Nafs.
protection of dignity, al-Arid,
Al-Irf.
what?
Irf.
Irf. Protection of intellect, protection of
Al-Aql.
property,
And
amal.
Al-Mal. Al-Mal. Okay, very good. So, حفظ الدين, حفظ النفس, حفظ العرف, حفظ العقل, and حفظ المال. These are the essential of the religion. It's to protect these 5 essential, five kind of protection. You're going to see this. Go ahead. Okay, let's go.
Al-Deen is the most important value that must be protected by the Muslims. It is obligatory upon each and every Muslim to protect his al-Deen. The protection of al-Deen at personal level is achieved through the observance of ibadat, such as performing the 5 prayers, fasting, paying zakat, and performing hajj. Executing all these rituals will increase the iman of the person and will therefore be a shield to protect the person from committing sin or indulging in any action that will destroy his deen.
So this is an example. This is the first one. Protection of the deen is the priority. It's one of the daruriyat in this. It's to protect the deen. So at an individual level, there is obligation to put the protective the deen is priority. For example, if there is a job or you find a cheap house, and the cheap house is far away from the masjid, far away from the Muslim community, and most probably if you're going to raise children far away from a Muslim community, they're going to be affected by their deen, they're going to lose their deen. So this have to be the first priority of a Muslim who have to care about his deen. Everything else will be after that. So you put the deen, protecting the deen, your deen and the deen of your children as your priority. So every ruling and every ahkam, it have to be based. And the faqih, how the connection, this is the connection now. The faqih is connected with this principle. Any ruling, any fatwas, if doesn't put this in consideration, it's wrong. Because this is the daruriyat or the essential principle of the deen. So you cannot be faqih and give fatwa to somebody to do something that is going to add to losing his deen. So this is the way. This is why the first is hifdul deen. Hifdul deen. Go ahead.
As an example, the Quran has pointed out that performing prayers will save a person from evil. And perform al-salat. Verily al-salat prevents from al-fahshiyah, great sins of every kind, unlawful sexual intercourse, etc., and munkar, disbelief. The protection of al-Deen at the wider scope involves defending Islamic faith, particularly if it is attacked by an enemy of Islam. For instance, the situation demands waging of war with enemy of Islam. Then it should be done for sake of protecting Islam from being destroyed by others.
This is very important. Rasul Sallallahu because when the mushrikeen of Quraysh coming to attack the Medina, everything else, if they destroyed Medina and destroy, as Rasul Sallallahu said in Badr, if these people lose today, لن تعبد في الأرض, nobody will worship Allah on the earth. So protecting the deen, protecting come even before the protected nafs. The people, when Rasul asked them, are you ready to defend Medina against and defend Islam against the mushrikeen of Quraysh? They know that they can die in this. This is why hifd al-Deen, it's come before, and this gives them permission. He said, no, we're going to give up, and we're not going to defend ourselves or our deen first, and that's it. So this is why Rasul sallallahu even though وَهُوَ كُرْهٌ لَكُمْ, nobody like the fighting, because priority of the deen is what? It's to protect the nafs. But sometimes protecting the nafs come with protecting the deen. Well, what you do, you give the priority for the deen. And this is what they did in Badr and Uhud. Why Rasulullah fight? He didn't fight because he wanted to fight, or he wanted but he fight because there is a big danger. Is the danger of destroying the community and destroying the religion. And this is why he come protecting, even if it's going to cost nafs and anfus, and people die. But it's not like you jump for losing. You have to be, have the nafs is one of the priority also. So only if there is really darura, there is no other option. Either you lose your nafs or some of the nafs, or you lose the deen, then the priority is to protect the deen. And this is why Rasulullah in Hudaybiyah, Rasulullah he saw a way that to protect the nafs and protect the deen through the sulh of Hudaybiyah. Allah said, فَإِن جَنَحُوا لِلسَّلْمِ فَاجْنَحْ لَهَا. If they go toward peace, go toward peace. Why? Because if there is any way to protect the deen and the nafs, this is what we're looking for. But if they have no option, they put you in the corner and you have no option, either you lose your deen or you lose your nafs, the priority always to the deen. Yes?
If that's taken to be an individual injunction, then everything goes crazy.
Not individual. This is why declaring war and things is not a personal decision. It's have to be. Look at Rasulullah when he in Badr or Uhud, even though the Prophet, the Messenger of Allah, and he didn't take decision without shura, without consulting and long shura. And this has happened in Uhud and happened in Badr. So it's not an individual, I'm going to this and do this and kill people, defend. This is have to be in the highest level decision. This is the biggest decision of war. Rasul ﷺ himself, he didn't take this decision without making mashwara, without, look how many years. Allah didn't give the permission to the people. They've been oppressed in Mecca, they've been mistreated, and Rasul ﷺ, they come to him, no. There is no permission. This is not an individual decision. Somebody bother me, I go, or somebody curse, or make drawing about Rasul ﷺ, I go, and it's not that personal decision. It's you put a lot of things. Could be itself is trick. If somebody come tomorrow and want to bring the Muslim community to fight, and what we go and do something to make people angry. And this is exactly what they do. So the people, the wise people, decision, okay, you have to see what's you're going to lose, what you're not going to, well, how is the benefit? Are you going to achieve the goal, protection of the deen or not? You can be, what you do is do damage to the deen. This is why this decision is not individual decision. It's in highest level of the community after shura and different. Okay. But we have another thing. So we have protect of the deen. Go to the next. Protect of the life or nafs. Come after that immediately. And this is now how the equation work. Doesn't work blocks. It works together. Have the nafs and have the deen. These are the daruriyat. So what I'm going to do, one of my priority also is to protect the nafs. So it's not to throw yourself. وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِكُمْ رَحِيمًا. Death, even so-called fi sabilillah, it's not, Rasul ﷺ, he did his best to protect his companion from get killed. Even though we know that it's an honor for somebody to die, shaheed, protecting the deen of Allah, but it's not that you throw yourself to death. Why they dig the ditch of Al-Khandaq? Somebody come, these people, they don't really believe in Allah. Let them kill you and you go to Jannah. Because there is another obstacle here. Hifdhun nafsi. You have to do the maximum to protect your nafs and the nafs of the innocent people. This is why the equation is not an easy. It's not one side. Put them together. Hifdh the deen, hifdh the nafs, and hifz all the 5, and you'll see it's not going to be it's not going to be black and white. You have more, it's not one dimension story, 5 dimensions. You put them together to take one decision. So let's see what means by hifz al-nafs. Go ahead, please.
Life is essential and valuable to everyone. Protecting everyone's life is equally important and obligatory to each and every individual and societies. And the punishment of the murderer, even though one life is killed because of the crime, this will lead to saving many more lives, and the punishment will deter others from committing such crime.
This is a very important point. The death penalty in Islam, Allah make it very clear. القتل أنفى للقتل. It's not a hadith. And القتل, it's أنفى للقتل. If you want to stop killing, sometimes the death penalty play this role. So the death penalty, it's not an anger or revenge. And this is when we don't understand. It's not to kill more people. Some people look at it like this. Oh, one is get killed, the other one, you killed another one. So you killed 2. So you look at it as a number. Quran doesn't look at it as number. Justice and fairness, and will stop more crime if it's fair. The system, all of it. Sometimes the system it doesn't work rightly because it's not the system is Islamic system. If you have more money, you can come free. If you don't have money, you can get killed. The system is wrong. So don't talk about death penalty in a system that it's not even Islamic. The justice, the fair, the equal opportunity for everybody to be defending himself or herself. If the question proving me innocent need how much money I'm going to pay. I was talking with somebody today, and his son, it was involved in a problem. He told me, I have to pay 50,000 cash before I even start talking with this lawyer. And he said it works because only my son and another from many others come free. So literally, you buy with the money, you're innocent to be innocent. So the system is corrupted. This is why it's very dangerous here to support the death penalty in a system like this. Even from Islamic perspective. Because the system you can buy and so you have to be very, very careful to support death penalty or not in a system that has a lot of holes and has a lot of things and this is proven. Yeah.
It's based on money. Only on money. Can I bring up the example of the Muslim cab driver? I think it was here in DC, and a rich man got in his car, a passenger, and started arguing with him and hit him, or injured him. But the cab driver, was smart enough to have a camera or a video or something going, and he prosecuted the passenger, and he was going to win. I think he won the first step, but then the rich passenger, who was completely in the wrong, went to an expensive select law firm in Alexandria and hired them, and now the cab driver is being sued.
Yes.
But
this is very clear. If proving me or my to be honest, it's required money. This is what he told me, and I know the case. I'm very familiar, and I was always asking why this person come free and not the other. They did the same. They are friends, and I know them. I know many of them. He said today by himself. I didn't ask him. He said I have to put 50,000 cash before I even talk to this lawyer. So the idea, hifz al-nafs, is a purpose. Talking about death penalty in Islam, some people it's killing. It's not like this. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, it was very clear in their mind how to save more nafs, more lives. It's not how to kill more, it's how to save more. And this is why this is the second priority after the Deen. And hifz al-nafs, any nafs, because we're done with the Deen here. Hifz al-nafs, al-nafs al-bari'ah, nafs, the innocent nafs. معناها نفسا بغير نفس. So this is why Allah is putting the nafs is very important from a Muslim perspective. Saving your nafs, keeping the nafs, the life is a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is a gift from Allah. You have to protect it and you do your best to protect it. Yes, continue.
The Al-Quran emphasized the point when it says, and there is a saving of life for you, and al-qiyas, the qisas, the law of equality in punishment, O man of understanding, that you may become al-muttaqin, the pious.
There you go. وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِصَاصِ حَيَاةٌ يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. You have hayat, life, in the qisas. Qisas is the equal punishment, including the death penalty for the person who killed, with many conditions, of course. So Allah said there is life. If you have lub means brain. So it's not about killing two, it's saving many. But if you do it in the fair, just environment, that it's equal for everybody. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when they came to him for the Makhzumiyah, she's from the rich people in Arabia, and she stole money. She's Sharifa, from and they sent her family. They came, Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you cannot talk to him about justice and so they go to Usama ibn Zayd, and they ask him to go to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to ask him. He said, أتشفع في حد من حدود الله? Are you coming because you know me and you want to interfere in blocking one of the rules of Allah that apply for everybody? وَالَّذِي نَفْسُ مُحَمَّدٍ بِيَدِهِ. I swear by Allah who my soul in his hand, لو أن فاطمة بنت محمد سرقت لقطعت يدها. If Fatima, the daughter of Muhammad, my daughter, if she did the same crime, will get the same punishment. So the law is for everybody. If we don't pick and choose, you follow the ruling of you're going to make the qisas, but the system is corrupted. So this is why, without doubt, read the Quran, saving the nafs is one of the priority. Yes.
Also, qisas is an improvement on the pre-Islamic Jahiliyyah, where you would just wipe out somebody's tribe.
And nobody else. This is also this is why there is a lot of ayat. فَلَا يُسْرِفْ فِي الْقَتْلِ إِنَّهُ كَانَ مَنْصُورًا. Respect the law. Don't rush to kill as before. Somebody killed, maybe there is mistake. Let the judge do their job and give the judge independency and freedom, and don't interfere. And the concept of lawyers here is very complicated concept. We have to be very careful about the system Islamically. Many thoughts about it, and at least and sometimes it's very corrupt system. Okay, continue.
It is important to note that generally saving one's life is required. However, it should not be done at the expense of others' lives. For example, saving a drowning person is compulsory, but if the saving of the life might lead to losing of another life, then it should not be done as the principles of Sharia states. A particular harm shall not be removed by inflicting another harm.
There you go. You cannot make a harm to remove another harm. And here the question comes. And of course we have a very important ayah in the Quran. من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, because of this, من قتل نفسا بغير نفس فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا. Whoever killed one innocent soul, as he or she killed every single body. And we have to look at it like this. Look at it that one soul, innocent soul being killed, it's as everybody. There is no difference. One important you have to kill 10 so we can talk about it in the news and make it. One innocent soul is as many. There is no difference. You don't have to throw a bomb in Hiroshima and kill 60,000 people so the people to go to the history. Killing there is no difference between killing 10 or killing one innocent soul. This is very important principle. Let's go to the third حفظ المال.
Acquiring property is one of the necessities of mankind. Everyone has his own property and would like to have all the necessary protection for his property. Islam has ordered that no one should acquire the property of another without legitimate reasons and without proper contract.
Very good. So حفظ المال, this is why we have.
Is it in order?
Huh?
Is it in order or no? That's where we gave us back.
What's the one before it? Go forward, yeah.
Dignity.
It is العرض, yeah, العرض and العقل and المال. It's okay. Let's go with المال. No problem.
Oh, but the
You want me to jump to dignity first?
No, it's okay.
Good question.
Yeah.
Good
Yes.
memory.
In some lists, instead of dignity, they do lineage.
yeah, that's
Lesson.
Yeah, we have last time we have a lesson.
Lesson.
So is it both or are they the same, synonymous?
Maybe here they use the عرض as the, but العرض is different than nafs.
But they built Aql, there's a third on the last list you gave us.
Huh?
Aql was the third on the
Third,
last list.
yeah. So we have حفظ الدين, حفظ النفس, حفظ العقل, حفظ النسل and حفظ العرض.
Yeah, so proper.
حفظ المال, العرض
And
is
it was one of them, but those were some you gave us.
okay. And let's go to المال. Okay. And then we'll inshallah put the whole.
Al-Quran emphasizes the point when it says, "And eat up not one another's property unjustly, nor give bribery to rulers that you may knowingly eat up part of the property of others sinfully." God has placed law to regulate the commerce and transaction between people in order to ensure fair dealing, economic justice, and to prevent oppression and dispute.
Okay. حفظ المال is also very important to put it in the context of Islam. Islam talk about, before you talk about protecting the wealth, talk about the halal earning. Halal earning. How, the question number one that the khulafa they ask, من أين لك هذا? How did you get this? Before I put the rules, I'm going to protect the money of the people. There is first question that the people said. I mean, sometimes we ignore the first question that you have to earn halal. That the way that you make wealth, and you have to be a permissible way. This is why من أين لك هذا? How you get this? It's a legitimate question. Umar ibn Khattab and the Khulafa, they ask you first, before you answer the question, how to get this wealth? How do you build this wealth? Sometimes here they don't ask you, and just talking about how to protect it. So the question number one, how? Have to be halal, have to be legitimate, mashru'a, and it's permissible the way that if you make your wealth by cheating, by doing illegal things, this question have to be answered first, resolved first, and then we talk about protection. But for the people who work hard and in halal, accepted, legitimate way to make their wealth, Islam come to protect their wealth. To protect, if they pay their zakat and to do their duty, Islam come to protect their wealth, and this is one of their rights. So this is why Islam has, it's not capitalism in extreme form, and it's not communism. So الرجل وحاجته الرجل وبلاؤه. The rules come. There is first of all a necessity, needs, and then the bala, the work. If you work hard for your wealth, this is yours. If you do halal way to make your money, this is your money, and Islam come to protect you. And the Sharia have to make rulings to protect your money. So this is why this is very important. But as حفظ النفس have to be in this context. You don't talk about حفظ المال without answering the first question. How did you get this mal?
I heard a hadith that if somebody takes your property, like your land, unlawfully, you can fight them, and if you fight them and you die, it should be.
There is hadith of Rasul Abu Dharr. He said, أرأيت إن جاء أحد يريد أن يأخذ مالي. Did you see if somebody come to take my money? Do I give him my money? He said, don't give him your money. He said, فَإِنْ قَاتَلَنِي قَالَ فَقَاتِلَهُ. But put in your mind what's more important. If you don't enter a battle that you know that you are going to be killed, you know, somebody come with a gun and you know, I'm going to fight you following the hadith. You killed yourself and you didn't protect your nafs. But if you have, most probably you're going to protect yourself and get your money, but not as individual level. Of course, there may be also individual and I apply, but we have to be very careful how to use it. Put the both in consideration, and if it's happened that this person you know, killed, he said, you defending your wealth. I mean, defending your rights in Islam, it's your right to defend yourself. There is no doubt about this. So we have to be very careful how to understand hifdhul mal. Islam didn't come to legitimate by the rules illegal wealth and illegal people who make their money from illegal ways. But in the same times, for the people who work hard, they have obligation to do everything possible to protect their rights. Somebody come to take your land, okay, thank you very much, no, stand up for your right and don't justify the wrongdoing of the others. Only if there is bigger harm can happen. If I go and I know that this is going to people they kill you, then you have to be careful and put the hifdhul nafs also as one of the priorities. Let's inshallah stop here today, and inshallah next week we'll finish the other two and give you the order that agree about the final order, inshallah. And if you have any question, be more than happy, inshallah. Yes.
So it seems to me that there's no, is there an order for these essentials? Because sometimes you can sacrifice a life, a nafs, for one of the essentials that come later on.
Yes.
That comes like
the order is very important.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.